Welcome back to the funny old game. I'm here on Rafe's deck once again. You can probably hear the chainsaw in the background and a couple of little birdies flitting about. It's a lovely, lovely afternoon. I'm getting a suntan. I'm Phil Davis from the Washing Line, and you, my friend, are who?
I am Rafe Griffin, and I think we established last week I'm from everywhere.
Yes.
And welcome once again to the sounds of suburbia.
Oh, I love suburbia. Amazing weekend. We ended up at the same game. How did that happen?
I don't know how that happened. We're going to talk about that later on, though, because I've got a bone to pick with you about some of those games over the weekend. We sat here last week, and you gave tips.
Yeah.
Then I read your preview.
Yeah.
Completely different tips.
Yeah, I know. I changed my mind at the drop of a hat. Yeah, well, that's okay. I got them all wrong.
Well, this is me, right?
Yeah.
I'm ripping up the form sheet
Yep.
after last weekend
Yeah.
because everything we predicted,
Yeah.
basically the opposite happened.
Not
So-
everything. We did predict Lions.
I
to
said
be
basically
Rochdale.
everything. Everything apart from that.
Yeah. Well, look, it was a great weekend of football for a lot of clubs. We got to start off with the biggest game of the weekend. I predicted it would be the biggest upset in the last 20 years, and what happened? UQ beat
Peninsula,
Peninsula
3-2.
3-2. Indeed, they did. They beat Peninsula 3-2. There's been nothing like it that I can remember because we underestimated UQ significantly, didn't we?
I was sitting in that very room
Yep.
doing the commentary of the Lions versus Rochdale game.
Yep.
I went in. It was 1-0. Okay, all
Yep.
right. Looked at it afterwards, after about 20 minutes of recording, whatever. It's 2-0.
Uh-huh.
And I sat here last week saying I wasn't going to go to that game,
Yep.
but I rushed off and got there at half-time. It was
Yes.
2-2.
Indeed, yeah. And we all thought Peninsula were going to score again, didn't we?
We all thought that Peninsula were going to score again. I got there right on the stroke of half-time, just as Sean Furigal was scoring.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, hello, okay, Peninsula are back in this. Walked up the race, and Terry was going, we're struggling on the condensed
Yep.
track, the smaller
Yep.
the smaller deck. And lo and behold,
The man with his name back to front.
that's right, like David. Wrong way around.
Yes.
Now that we know who's in the UQFC squad,
Yeah.
it sort of makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Well, we kind of know who's in the squad. You do, particularly because you saw them play. But it does kind of make sense. Loic David was a great player a few years ago. You know, I think he struggled with injury. I believe. Who knows what's happened, but he's been in and out of the first team. But that season, I don't know how long ago it was. It could have been 50 years ago. He was absolutely a brilliant striker with the doctor, his counterpart.
Yes.
Yeah, his name eludes me.
It's a hyphenated name and it eludes me as well.
Yes, I don't think my clock's working. Anyway, enough with the double entendres. The other games of the weekend, we were also very surprised to see Logan shoot out to a 2-0 lead.
We were, and they held on for the win in the end, despite Carter Glockner scoring 2 goals there for East at Heath Park.
Yeah, another interesting start for East. Another game of the weekend that was also a bit of a surprise was Albany Creek up 3-1. 2 late goals to Lucas Wilson, 3-3. Ipswich Knights, is that the only point they're going to get all year?
No, maybe the only point they get all year. No, not at all. Like 2 goals in 6 minutes to Lucas. What are you laughing for? 2 goals in 6 minutes to Lucas Wilson.
Yep.
At the end there.
Yeah, I'm only kidding. Of course they'll. I don't. It's hard to take from these games, but what sort of significance do these results have? Do you think? Do they have a significance, or is it round one, yada yada yada, or what?
I don't know. Look,
You're supposed to be the expert.
no,
remember?
you're supposed to be the expert as well. But how could you predict after the respective pre-seasons they had that Logan would come away like that, especially away from home?
Yeah.
How could you predict that UQFC, with very little preparation from what we saw, certainly match time compared to the others, come out and do that against last year's grand final winners?
No,
Maybe we do put it down just to round one and perhaps a bit of rustiness, but that's perhaps taking a bit of credit away from those teams that cause the upsets.
Yeah, absolutely. And Logan was a classic pre-season team that it happened last year. I tipped Albany Creek to get relegated, and that was because they were awful in pre-season. But Logan are the one that, they've definitely proved us wrong. There were other games on the weekend. We had Lions kind of cruised to a 3-1 win over Rochdale, who were much better in the second half. What else was on the weekend?
I went down to Capital 4 on Friday night.
Oh, well, hang on. What about the Premier League? Holland Park Hawks and Mitchelton. Holland Park should have won.
Yeah, we went over that, didn't we? So what did we learn from that game?
Oh, well, Mitchie.
No. Take your rid along to the game.
Yes.
Take the
I have
Irrigard.
still got mosquito bites on my elbow and on my ankles. And yes, if you're going up to Whites Hill Reserve, take your Irrigard.
Especially around 6 o'clock at night.
Shocker.
But Holland Park should have won, as you said.
Absolutely.
They had enough opportunities there to win the game. You thought Dan Smith's radar was out from...
Well, on set pieces, for sure.
Set pieces?
Yeah. They had a few corners late in the game. I thought, well, this is really dangerous because they're pushing the pressure. And Smith just overhit them. 2 or 3 corners, and they cleared everyone. Usually he'd be probably, possibly scoring from a corner. He's that accurate. I think the one thing I really take out of that game is that Mitchie are going to have to be better.
I think both sides are going to be better if they've got top 4 aspirations.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think either side can win the league. I don't think either side set out thinking that they could win the league, but Mitchie are going to have to be better if they want to be in the top 4. Holland Park, let's see how they react to that.
Yeah. Ultimate test this weekend we'll talk about later on.
Oh, yes, indeed. And there were a couple of other games on the weekend. North Pine, I said I like those teams that come up. 2-0 winners over Capalaba. And Juddmeister, he tells us that Capalaba should have won it.
I think they had enough corners in that match to win 2 games or something like that, but just couldn't put it away, apparently. And Alistair Russell from North Pine.
Yep, 2 goals.
Good day for the Rangers.
Good day for the Rangers.
Indeed. I'm one of them, so good luck to them.
Well, you're hardly a Ranger in the sunlight. You're kind of Ranger-ish.
Well, I was. You should have seen me as a kid. I had Ronald McDonald here as a kid, so I still associate. So, that was the Flight Centre Premier League.
Yes.
As I just intimated before, I took a nice little trip down to Deception Bay on Friday night to check out what the whole Caboolture Revolution is
Mosquitoes
about.
down there?
Mosquitoes down there. I should have learnt from Friday night to take the Irrigard on the Saturday night, but been in the relatively calm surrounds of Lions and spoilt over the last few weeks.
Yeah, indeed,
So, Caboolture won 6-2 in the end.
Yeah.
But would you believe it was only 1-0 at half-time?
I believe that because I saw the scores coming up on the internet.
Yeah. The keeper was outstanding in the first half.
Yeah.
He got kicked. He had an asthma attack. He had to get the puffer out.
Yeah.
So apparently Deception Bay, a lot of old boys from Redcliffe PCYC have made the short move over there. So they've probably got a bit of Capital 2 experience. So Plotty playing beyond their league.
Redcliffe PCYC weren't too bad in Capital 2 last year, but they were not very good on the weekend, or 6-0. So
that might explain it.
Yeah, could explain it indeed. I managed to go to Logan Metro, just up the road. Logan Metro versus Kangaroo Point Rovers. And it was ridiculously hot. It's just almost unplayable. Michael Bailey was running the line and looking very, very, very puffed. He'd already refereed the reserve game, but it was, the pitch is not great at Compton Park. People who go there this year will see it's just puffs of dust. It's hard underfoot, and that whole atmosphere it just felt like you're in a sauna. It felt like the sky was closing in on you. Kangaroo Point did enough to win. Logan Metro created more chances, but they have a few issues. Obviously I know a few people around there, a lot of people, and I talked to a friend at the game, and he knows a lot of refugees, and obviously refugees have made a big impact in the Brisbane football community, and they can't afford the fees, unfortunately. So unless they get sponsors, who knows? But there are plenty of talented players running around just down the road. That's how I got involved in the game, actually, running around getting sponsors for the refugees. So there you go. That's my life history. That was the games we got out to. Did you get to any other games?
I don't think so. No, that's about it for the weekend for me.
Only 2 games,
Only
Rafe?
2.5.
2.5, of course, 2.5.
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, there's plenty of games coming up this weekend, and do you think we should have a look at them?
Yes, let's do that.
All right, let's do that.
Why
What
not?
are we going to start with? No, actually, before we move on to that, I want to just mention a couple of things that caught my eye from the weekend.
Okay.
Lower grades. Okay, Capital 3, Murundu 1 versus Virginia 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good result for Murundu because they got promoted in second, and they held their own against Virginia, and that's a big step up in class, and I think Murundu can be proud of that result. In Capital 2, Ipswich 0, Acacia Ridge 3.
Well, it's a big step up for Acacia Ridge in the promotion against Ipswich City.
Indeed it is, and they continued what they've been doing for 2 years, which is beating everyone easily. So, apart from that brief period last year where they lost 5 in a row or something. Capital 1, North Star 2, South United 1. I think both those teams will be up there chasing promotion, so that could be vital 3 points for North Star. And in the FFA Cup, Grange 6, Caboolture 0. I think that puts beyond any doubt that Caboolture shouldn't have started in a higher division, like everyone said.
You're Phil Davis, and that's your opinion, is that right?
Well, I've got to have some opinion. Is that all right?
No, it's fine.
Isn't it what this is all about?
Absolutely.
It's a podcast.
Yeah.
All right, what's your opinion?
On whether Caboolture should have started higher, I think they're in the right spot.
Yeah, I think they're in the right spot.
Particularly with, 3 or 4 new teams that also came in at the same time.
Yeah.
I think there might have been a bit of outrage had... I can see both sides of the fence, but I think it's the right move in the end.
Yeah, I think it's the right move too, and I think they'll struggle to get promoted, to be honest. Because there's some...
let's record that one down
right
now.
Yeah, record that down. There's 2 teams that have got to go up, and they're not... There's a few teams that aren't too bad. You know, Greenbank are on the improve by the looks of things. It's Logan Metro versus Logan City Kings this week. All right, do you want to talk about the Flight Centre Premier League Round 2?
We should talk about that because first game on Saturday night, it's a local derby.
It is.
Penn Power coming off a loss, North Power coming off a win.
Oh,
now, would you expected to say that coming into this round?
No, I definitely wouldn't have expected to say that. Does that make North Pine United favourites, Rafe?
No, it doesn't, unfortunately.
No.
Not for their excellent cause anyway. Can you imagine what the training sessions would have been like during the week down at AJ Kelly?
Yeah, pretty relaxed, I'd imagine.
Really?
It's only lost by the odd goal.
I'm not so sure about that.
What was Terry like after the game? Was he happy?
He went straight to the car park and I trailed him and I kept a safe distance away.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, North Pine, we've started well. Obviously, 3 points. Peninsula Power, you'd think that Peninsula's going to beat North Pine, wouldn't you?
All respects to UQFC and what they achieved last week, but I think it's just a blip in the radar there for Peninsula Power. They should bounce back.
Yeah, I think Peninsula are going to bounce back, but I still wouldn't be surprised if North Pine can grab something. I can't see them beating Peninsula, but could grab
a draw.
A point.
If you go, I know that pre-Christmas game doesn't really count, but anything can happen in a derby.
Absolutely, anything can happen in any game after UQ beat Peninsula last week. Next game, Logan versus Ipswich. That's a winner versus a drawer. It's down at Cornubia Park. It's Hawaiian night.
Hawaiian night?
Hawaiian night at Cornubia Park. Yes, it is.
Really?
There you go.
No. Oh, I'm going elsewhere.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see you in a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, God. I don't know that there's one big enough at Lowe's to fit me anyway.
Well, you don't have to shop at Lowe's. Haven't you been to Hawaii?
I have. Else? Ages ago.
Oh, there you go. Logan versus Ipswich. Let's have a look at this. For me, I think Logan deserve to be favourites in this game.
Yeah. I think home ground advantage probably plays heavily into this one.
Yeah.
Not an easy trip on a Saturday night down to Logan for Ipswich.
Yeah.
So I'll go Logan.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Logan as well. I haven't been through their squad, to be honest. I usually go through every squad after every game every week, and I didn't get through that. I don't know why, but I'm going to tip Logan to win that one at home. Next one is crucial. Mitchelton versus Eastern Suburbs. Mitchelton with 3 points on the board. East with none.
Crucial game in round 2, hey?
Crucial game in round 2, yeah, I believe so. You don't want to lose the first 2 games, do you?
True. Very true.
And you'd be chasing your tail all year, and East do not want to do that.
No.
You think they will?
We're asking the tough questions
again
today.
It's a tough question. This is a tight game to call. I'm tipping Eastern Suburbs to win.
Yeah, I think I might take Eastern Suburbs as well. Talking to Leo last week, he said he's of the genuine opinion it's going to take 4 weeks for Mitchie to be right.
Yeah.
So I think East might take a bit away from last week. They got that goal, in the 90th minute?
Yeah.
That might just be a bit of a boost to go, we can actually score and whatever. Yeah, I'll take East in that one. Yeah,
I'm going to take East as well. Okay, Albany Creek versus UQFC. Off you go. You go first. Tell me who's going to win this one.
I might take UQFC.
Yeah, because they're in form, because they're a surprise packet, because they're a better side.
Because I think now that we know what their squad is, I think they've got a better squad than what we thought they were going to do. Pascal was rather impressive on Sunday night.
Yeah. Scored a goal. Yeah.
The Volker connection is there with Jay Jew, who's come over from Brisbane City.
Yeah.
So they've got a few good, decent players. Linus Shibler.
What
a name. The Unusual Names Club, so good on you, Linus. But he was outstanding in goal for UQFC the other night. So, tough little trip out to Walter Park.
Yeah.
Because in essence, they don't play a home game for quite some time because they're out of the gap at the moment, UQFC, so that's not going to faze them.
No, it's not. It's not that far away, let's be honest. Albany Creek from the gap. Anyway, Albany Creek, I still think they're going to be a good side this year, but I am too going to tip UQFC on the strength of last week's result, because if they play that well, they must have a good team and they must have a good understanding. Next game, this used to be a derby. Is this still a derby, Capalaba versus Rosedale? Not really, is it?
They're sort of in different shires as well.
Well, I know, but...
They're close, but they're in different shires.
I know, but Sean Curtis and various people left and went to Capalaba, and there was all this kerfuffle about we want to beat them, they want to beat us. It's not really a derby.
No, there's not really that anymore, is there?
No, there isn't. Okay, so on the face of it, Rochedale were fairly well beaten, and Capalaba should have won but didn't. What does that tell you? Nothing?
Well, I think they play different calibers of sides for a start. So, Rochedale, probably no disgrace
to lose
in that 3-1.
Yep.
Did you see that second goal for Lions?
Yes.
Off the crossbar 3 times?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did see it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, right, let's move on. Rochedale to win.
Rochdale, I am going to tip Rochdale to win that as well, but look at that. I think that will be possibly the closest game of the weekend, because I think Capalaba are going to be up for it.
Yep.
Lions versus Holland Park on Sunday, which I think half of Brisbane football community will be there. I'll be there. You'll be there?
No, I won't be there. 5 o'clock on a Sunday.
Oh, what will you be doing?
I can't tell you because it might give away my movements. No, 5 o'clock Sunday is recording time for the feature game usually, so I can't get out on Sunday afternoons usually.
Yeah, look, I'll probably be there. Lions versus Holland Park, it's the big test for Holland Park. Surely Ben Ryan and his team will go into it trying to find where they're at. I think that's what you do. You set your standard against Lions, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You get beat 7-0, well, you think, we need to improve. If you can hold there, come out of it with a single goal loss, but Holland Park can beat Lions, UQ beat Peninsula. There's lots of results around.
Holland Park won't want to repeat their last performance at Lions Stadium.
When they lost 8-6.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody who's not sane would tip against Lions on that one.
No.
Yep.
I'm saying still.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Barely.
I don't know how you're sane with the traffic around here just quietly, but anyway. I go insane driving 15 minutes from work to my house.
That's why you catch the train.
God. Well, that's it for the weekend. Is there anything else coming up that we need to talk about?
We've got the FFA Cup round 3 draw.
Yes.
We had that last week.
Yep. Some interesting, not that interesting. There
Well,
weren't that many interesting draws, were there?
Well, they were interesting. We've got North Pine and Albany Creek, the local derby.
That's true, yeah.
We've got East facing a tough little trip to the postage stamp at Tarragindi.
Yep. And I really like it when those big clubs go away to the smaller clubs, because it drags out everyone.
Well, Lions out to Narangba.
Yeah.
That'll be a night.
Yeah, well, everyone from Narangba will be there. Yeah, guarantee they'll all be there. And, that helps the club. They get a little bit more cash. And, you find it hard to think they're ever going to, win these games, but it's good for the code. And that's what we really want.
Indeed.
Who's going to make the FFA Cup round 32 this year, Rafe?
From Football Brisbane?
Yeah.
Well, it's tough to tell when you don't know who's drawn who.
Oh, I'm just telling you to have a guess.
You want me to have a guess? Well, Lions and Strikers, there you go.
Yeah.
Boring, same two as last year.
Yeah, I'm going to tip Lions and Strikers as well. But I'd like to see a Smoky come through. But we'll look at that as the year rolls on. Of course, the FFA Cup produces some fine upsets.
Love the FFA Cup.
Oh, remember Logan FC went out to Moggle?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Remember Ipswich Knights over Western Pride?
Indeed, yes.
Ipswich Derby 2 years in a row?
Oh, yes. Now, those two teams are closer together than Moggle and Logan.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, that's us. I'm Phil Davis, and who are you again?
Rafe Griffin.
And what are we doing?
We are podcasting.
We're talking about football. Get out to a game this weekend. We'll be out at games. I will personally be covering the South versus Mount Gravatt game at Wakely Park, and that will be South's first home game back in Capital 1.
Are they playing on the synthetic pitch? You don't know?
I believe so.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I do know they've been putting the grandstands up this week.
Yes, I have seen
pitch,
that. So. You talk amongst yourself there for a moment, and I'll try and work out whether it's on field 1, so it's on the grass, the natural grass.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it written down as field 1 before, and it's still played on field 2.
Okay,
so,
we'll find out.
Oh, the one thing I wanted to mention before we go is it's still not raining, which is terrific, and it won't rain this weekend, so get out to a game, support your local club. I'm Phil Davis from the Washing Line.
And Rafe Griffin. Thanks, Ray Wilkie.
We'll talk to you next week. Bye.